All right. Hey guys, welcome to the team chat for, I don't even know what day it is. It's the 10th of February. I'm so excited because Leanne is going to be hosting this call. She's going to be sharing some awesome business tips with us today. I'm really excited. Leanne's one of my favorite friends in the business. She's helped me through so much of my business, and I think she's going to be able to teach you guys a lot of great content tonight. So, Leanne, take it away.
Well, thank you for letting me hop on your Zoom. And if my computer goes and connects, then I'll just bounce over to there and share the PowerPoint presentation, but it's still thinking. So today I wanted to talk about recruiting because I should kind of back up. So I have been a coach for about 3.5 years now. I started out as a straight up discount customer. My neighbors, I was struggling to lose the baby weight, and my neighbors are personal trainers, and so I reached out to them and just said like, hey, and it was just kind of a fluke thing. Our garage wasn't working, and our neighbor passed by, and so we started chatting, and I said, I'm ready to hire you guys to come just beat me into submission, I guess, to get me back on track and help me lose this baby weight. And they said, well, we actually run these groups on Facebook. I'm like, okay, great. Like I'm on Facebook and we're doing workouts and it's a private group and we drink Shakeology. And I share this because I want you guys to know like this is going to happen to you and to never give up on a coaching prospect. The minute she said Shakeology, I was like, peace out. I don't need your shake. I really don't even drink alcohol that much. Sorry, I'm trying to like make sure my face is in the middle. I really don't even like drink alcohol that much. I would rather eat my calories than drink a shake. And I don't want to get on some diet that requires me to stay on a shake in order to maintain my weight. So I pretty much was like, okay, yeah, great. I'll think about it. And then I went MIA. And a month later, sorry, I'm still trying to get my computer to pay somewhat attention so I can open at least my slide presentation. But I went MIA, and then about a month later, I was still struggling, still stuck at the same exact point. And I said, you know what, let me try the Shakeology. My husband was totally against it. And he was like, I can't even believe you're bothering going down there to try the Shakeology. Like it's a total scam. And I said, it's okay. Like it's the middle of winter. It was literally like 4 years ago now that I had tried it, fell in love with Shakeology. And so I was doing it. I was getting great results. People were starting to message me saying, hey, you're inspiring me to lose weight or to work out. And so thank you. And so it was kind of in my mind, but not really. Like I was an accountant. I have my CPA license. I have my MBA. And my track was straight up, I'm going to go work in that corner office and be the CEO or CFO of a small to mid-sized company. Like that was my goal. That was my projection. And so I was like, you know what? I'll just refer all of the people I know to my neighbor. And he was like, you could literally like earn your Shakeology for free. Because at that point, Justin and I were both drinking Shakeology. And I said, no, like I'm not at my goal weight. I'm not interested in this. No, thank you. No, thank you. And so I had done, Turbo Jam and then went to Chalene Extreme and fell in love with Chalene and Janelle. And for whatever reason, I started following Janelle on Facebook. And she had done the shout out for Meg, that Meg had just quit her job, making almost a 6-figure salary. And I was like, okay, hold up. Like I have all these credentials and all this experience and I'm not making a 6-figure salary. Like what is this girl doing? And while I love my neighbors, and I always share this piece at the end, but while I love my neighbors, like we just kind of had different philosophies on where we should be. I was more of a gradual change and they were more of a, it's all or nothing. And so there were times that I just started lying to them about what I was eating because I knew, like, and this is my example always, I was basically living off of Cheez-It crackers. And so for me, it was a huge win that I had that I actually counted out and had only one serving of Cheez-It crackers. And they were like, you can't have Cheez-It crackers. And then I was all excited because I was going to make my own. And they're like, yeah, you can't have those. You can't. And I'm like, well, then I'll lie. So I just connected better with Meg and talked with Meg for a few months. So we had talked in May. And it wasn't until July when Beachbody released the Ultimate Reset that I was interested in buying TurboFire, that I decided to become a strict discount-only coach. And Meg, did what is coaching call with me and basically said like, okay, so I'm putting you in this group and you have to post at least once a week, and I'm putting you in this group and you have to post twice a week, and our team calls are on this night and you need to be on those calls. And that was it. And I was like, okay. And so I just started, engaging on those calls, and all of a sudden I went from, like total discount, I'm not working this, to, maybe I could help a few people, to now this is my full-time job. And like I said, I would circle back about my neighbors. They, a year and a half ago now, the wife was a stay-at-home mom, working her business, just kind of playing with it. The husband was the primary breadwinner, and really Beachbody was his thing, and she was kind of just dabbling in it. He was working a full-time job, and they basically just said, like, we're letting you go at the end of the month and you have no benefits. And they let him go. And because I had worked under Meg and had done all these trainings, he really doesn't have a strong upline. And so I was able to help them. And I know that God had me exactly where I was supposed to be. And this will tie into my, presentation too. Like, my computer is so dead right now. I don't know what it's doing. That I know that I am exactly where God wanted me to be. They know that, and we have such a better relationship because I was able to help them with things that they weren't getting support from before and that I had learned. So what I wanted to share with you guys about is why you have to be focusing on recruiting and adding coaches to your team. So I've been in this business 3.5 years. Yes, this is my full-time job, but full disclosure, I made $25,000 last year. I made $75,000 as a full-time CPA. And I had to do a lot of like deep reflecting and thinking about this, and what was I doing? And if I'm honest with myself, I wasn't doing the work necessary, and I haven't been recruiting. So when you kind of start talking about elite, you have to think about, who did you recruit in, for 2015? And when I started writing down those names, guys, I had only recruited or added 15 new coaches in the entire year. No wonder my business wasn't taking off. Because if you look, a lot of the top coaches give, like Mindy Wender has, like a checklist for things that you have to be doing to make a 6-figure income. And you're supposed to be recruiting like 4 to 10 coaches, to be elite. You should be you're recruiting like 10 coaches a month. And I've recruited 15 over the entire year. And so I started thinking about like, okay, so what am I doing versus the other top leaders in the company? What are the elite coaches doing? Because to be elite, to be a top 10 coach, you need to be recruiting, and you need to help your coaches recruit and hit Success Club. That's the key to elite and to growing a thriving business. And so first thing, I think we have to get in the mindset of, I can do this, and I don't have to be $1 million earner. I know that, when I talk to my neighbors, my neighbor has kind of not shared a lot about the coaching opportunity, and he is a 2-star diamond. So he talks with his corporate representative, and the person's like, you have to share your income. You have to share these successes. And he's like, but in my mind, coming from the corporate world and what I left behind to pursue Beachbody, I'm not there yet. So I feel like I'm not successful in this. And that's how I felt. Like I said, I was making $75,000 a year in my corporate job, and now I'm making $25,000. So in my head, that's not a success. But I had the chance to talk with a Tony Robbins a mentor, or life coach, I guess. And when I shared with her kind of that struggle, like what's holding you back from recruiting these people? And I'm like, well, because I don't feel like I'm successful. I'm a 1-star qualified coach, or like I'm 1-star lifetime, I should say, because I helped my husband get there. I've never helped my coaches get there. So I'm like, why should I recruit to anybody? I have not been successful with this. And so you have to change your mindset and say, first of all, have I really been applying myself to show the success? And if you are, have you given yourself enough time to do this? And so what I was saying about the Tony Robbins, when I told her how much I made, she was like, do you know, like in the like MLM world, you are like successful, like at $25,000. And I saw from somebody else posted it, but Kathy Lee and Hoda did a segment on how people can make extra income from home. And one was through like a network marketing, situation. And the woman said, the only problem with this business model is that the average person will like max out at $25,000 a year. And that's when they've already been in it for a very long time. In our world, 3.5 years is nothing. Like you're not even through college in 3.5 years for most people. So why in the world would you expect to be having all this great success and you're not giving it enough time? So you have to change your mindset, and you have to focus on the little wins that you have had. And you have to know you only have to be one step ahead of anybody you're asking to join your team. And guess what? If you've signed as a coach, you're already one step ahead. You know how to go through the coach submission form and how to sign up as a coach. And then you also know, like, oh, hey, Sam runs these team calls on Wednesdays at 8:30. You should hop on those calls. And, oh, you should drink Shakeology, and you should be doing your workout. And they're really big on this personal development thing. And maybe you should post those. So you'll know these things. You just have to be one step ahead. You have to know that you can do it. And you just have to do it. So I wanted to ask this question, and Sam, you can open it up to anybody or however you want to do it. I'm trying to see all of your faces. And maybe it's rhetorical. Maybe that would be easier. But how has your life changed? Or let's do, raise your hand if your life has been changed somewhat by becoming a Beachbody coach. Awesome. So everybody raise their hands. So why wouldn't you share this opportunity with everybody else? Your life has been changed, whether it's you're eating healthier, maybe you have a little extra income to take your family on vacation, you're paying off a bill, whatever. Your job is to share this opportunity. And I'm getting kind of mad. Hold on. Because I have to get my notes at some point here.
No, here, you look at that. I want you to really like think about what she just said. Because what she just said is, like, I've been taking notes like crazy, but what she just said is so important. Continually recruiting people for your team. You need to make sure that you're continually recruiting. And so often, at least in my business, I stop recruiting when I get into a mindset like, why would anybody want to join my team? And I don't know if I'm the person that can do that. But my life has changed so significantly because of this opportunity. I'm being selfish not to share it. And you're being selfish not to share it too, because your life has changed in so many ways. So take some time to write out how your life has changed and, what Beachbody has done for you. No matter how long you've been, utilizing the workouts. I was utilizing Beachbody workouts 4 years before I became a coach. So talk about how the business of Beachbody itself, the business, the exercises, the eating plan, how all of that has changed you. And make sure to take some time this week and really write that out for sure. And thank you for mentioning that.
And that's important because I will get to that, why you want that list later on. But so I've got my notes. So if I'm looking over, that's what I'm doing. So now that we've got your like mindset there, we've started thinking about the reasons why coaching has changed your life and why everybody should be a Beachbody coach. Now you need to be selective. And I'm going to be brutally honest with this. At first, I wanted a warm body. We all push for diamond. And okay, well, so I need 8 active coaches, and then 2 of those have to be emerald. And oh my gosh, now we don't have this person, but maybe this person over here, I don't know. They're really creepy. They seem like a stalker, but I bet they would buy Shakeology and they would stay active because they want to be my friend. So yeah, go ahead and come on my team. No, you do not want those people. It will bite you in the butt later on. I want you to sit down and figure out who is your niche. So we talk about this when we're talking about our customers. Who do we want to work with? How can we help them? And so the same thing comes into play with who do you want on your team? How old are they? What's their age range? Are they single? Are they married? Are they married without kids? Are they married with kids? Are they working in the corporate world? Are they a teacher? Do they love their job? Do they hate their job? Do they need supplemental income? What are their wants in life? What would make them feel fulfilled? Do they want to be part of something bigger? Do they just want to have freedom to make their own schedule? Do they want to be recognized? Like for my job in the corporate world, I want that recognition from corporate. I want corporate to call me and know my name. That's just how I am. That's one of Tony Robbins talks about, like 6 key, I don't even know what the word is, things that you need. And some people really need significance and to know that the part that they're playing matters. And so you have to know kind of who are those people? Where are they? This is going to come into play when you're doing your ads and stuff like that. But also, what characteristics do they have? And when I started doing the Miracle Morning, I had found at the same time, there was a Zig Ziglar freemium, I guess, that came out that was focused on, it was like an affirmation. And so as you were kind of going through it, it says in the affirmation, I am not all of these things yet, but I'm striving to be them. I'm striving to have integrity. I'm persistent. Whatever, all these things that I'm dedicated, I'm consistent, I'm passionate. So think about these characteristics and start to say, what is my team? How am I going to define my team? What type of people do I want on there? So you think Mindy Wender, team go-getters. You want go-getters, you want rock stars. You don't want people that you have to be like, you can do this every single day. You want somebody that's like, hey, I can do this. I know there's going to be hard times. You're going to have to cheer them on, at times, because it gets rough. This business is tough at times, but you want somebody that's going to have that drive. Maybe it's the type A personality. They're persistent, they're focused, they're a go-getter, they're hardcore, they're passionate, whatever. Who do you want on your team? And Melanie Mitro, if you guys haven't looked, the new leadership conference that was in January, a lot of those videos are on YouTube. People have uploaded them. So check those out because Bonnie Engel did a great video on it or a great training on it. And I've listened to part of Melanie Mitro's and I have to finish that. But Melanie said, don't make your niche so wide because you're like, oh my gosh, I could miss somebody. And this is where I'm going to come back to my neighbors. You will have every single person on your team who is supposed to be on your team. There are going to be people that aren't meant to be on your team, and you're going to get angry because sometimes those people are going to go crazy with their business, and you're going to be like, why weren't they on my team? God has this all planned out. He knows exactly what's going to happen at the end. You will have everybody you need to be. Focus on who you really want on your team and keep that niche narrow. And so now we need to start posting about this. And this is where my weakness has been. I have in the past gone the approach, I'm going to focus on getting challengers in, and I'm going to try and get them to have amazing results and turn them into coaches. That is a great philosophy for one thing. That's one way to get coaches in, and that was my only focus. The other focus is to do posts about it. And Bonnie Engel, shared this. So we know how successful these backstage passes are, these events. We know conversations that we're having with people or customers. We know the lifestyle that we want to project and share with people. Like, you can have this too. Those and your successes, in business that Sam was telling you, write down those things. Those are now your posts on your Facebook page. Those are the posts that you boost because you're showing people a lifestyle. And one thing I will share, and I'll send Sam my slides so you guys can have these. When I've been reflecting on, okay, so great, I have 15 coaches from all of 2015. A lot of those, the majority of my coaches do not hit Success Club. And the one thing that I hear often is it's just too hard. It's so hard. And I'm like, I just kind of always hit it, so I don't know what to say. It's just a mandatory thing. And so when I looked back and I was listening to what Bonnie Engel shared on her training, I was sharing in my posts, this is so easy. In just an hour a day working my business, I've been able to retire from my job. And so when I was recruiting some people, thankfully, a lot of those people have left the team now. When I was recruiting them, they're like, I don't want to work, but I want to have that success. And so you have to share with people that it's going to take work. You can't just sit at your computer, post one sweaty selfie, one Shakeology picture, and say, hey, I'm running a challenge group, and everybody come flooding to you trying to get into your group. That's not the way it works. You have to build, a reputation. You have to show people that you're consistent. You have to show people that you have results, or that your customers have results, or that other people have results. They need to know that you're posting consistently on your page, because if you're not posting consistently on your page, they all of a sudden feel like, well, what is she going to do when I get into the group and I'm paying? Is she going to leave me then? And so you have to share that you're doing this every single day. So you're showing up to work every single day to work on your business. That could be a picture of a personal development book that you're reading. That's your sweaty pics. Those are your Shakeology pics. Those are pics of, hey, hopping on this training now, that people know it's going to take work. And I was scared to share that with people. I was like, so many people already have too many things on their plate. They don't want an extra business. But if they're going to really grow it, and if you're going to grow it, you need to be putting in the time, and you need to set the expectations. And, so I shared that vulnerable post. I was terrified to post it. Not a lot of people saw it. But I was like, 3.5 years in, I made $25,000. And I was upset about that. But I started thinking about, what $25,000, with the amount of work that I had actually really put into this business, being able to stay at home, what would $25,000 do for the average family? And there was a statistic that went around, and I know they say 95% of all statistics are made up on the fly, so who knows how true it is. But they said when the stock market crashed, or when the housing market crashed, and all of these people were losing their homes, they said that the average family, if they had just $300 extra dollars a month, they would have been able to stay in their home. That's it. How many of us are earning well over $300 a month, or $300 a week, and just, putting in that hour to 2 hours? So you have to share those little things. When you're posting, hey, I just paid my, utility bill with my Beachbody income, how many people are like, that would be nice. I could use an extra $100 instead of paying my gas bill. I could put it towards something else, pay down debt. So make sure you're sharing those things. Make sure you're showing the lifestyle that you're doing. Make sure you're showing people that you're actually doing work, because then when they join your team, they already know, hey, I've been watching Sam. She's getting in on these trainings. Okay, so that's cool. Beachbody's not going to leave you hanging high and dry. You're going to get trainings. Okay, and she's also doing workouts, and she's drinking the Shakeology. So at a minimum, if I'm signing as a coach, probably they're going to expect me to at least drink my Shakeology, do my workout, get on these calls, and I should probably post about it too. And then, doing your recognition, all of these things are showing people like you have a team. Share your recognition on your team, even if it's just one shout out. We all started there. We all started with one coach, and most of the time it was their own Shakeology that shipped, and you're like, woohoo, you're a rock star, and people are like, oh, like they have other people on their team. That's cool. And they get interested. So make sure you kind of have purpose behind your posts. And another topic so you use like your backstage events, like those posts to kind of break down, why it's not a pyramid scheme. Use those as example posts. When you're talking to people and you are inviting somebody to coach and they say no, here's why. Use that in a positive way, not like, hey, so I got this objection the other day about coaching and I thought I would share with you. Answer that objection in a slightly different way. Like if they're like, I think Shakeology is a scam, this is one I shared and a lot of people were interested in it. We all hear it. I only want to eat the food that my grandparents would recognize, and my grandparents would not recognize what the heck Shakeology is. Therefore, I cannot eat it. And so then there is an article, and you can Google it. It came up really quickly. But it said the nutritional value in an apple today is totally different, not totally different, but different than it was back in 1970 because our soil is depleted. And so you can say like, hey, I'm all about eating healthier and making sure I'm fueling my body with the exact things. And right now, our fruits and vegetables don't have the same nutritional value that they had back when our parents and grandparents were growing up. That's why I love Shakeology, because our founders went to the ends of the earth to find nutrient-rich soil to build, to create this Shakeology, so I'm getting all the nutrients I need. Shay Stanford is awesome at sharing Shakeology information, so go in there. Any objection you get, whether it's joining a challenge group, why they can't drink Shakeology, why they can't do the workouts, there is somebody out there that can negate that objection. And so you just share it in a positive light. So that's what your post should be about. And I will tell you, this is why I stopped posting about coaching. Because you're not going to get a lot of people that are going to comment and say, oh, hey, I saw your post. Now, like when you're a top coach, yeah, that happens. But I will almost guarantee that if you see a boosted ad or a sponsored post from like a top coach, I saw Bonnie Engel had a bunch of them. So check it out. Look at the comments, because a lot of the comments, it looks like 1 million people are answering. Half of those comments are Bonnie responding to them, saying, hey, yeah, I sent you a message. And then the person she's like, yeah, I sent you a message. You never emailed me back. Like not a lot of people are going to come from those posts, but you're going to start conversations with them. That's going to be a new kind of friend in your network that you're just kind of building that relationship with. But you have to be private messaging people. A lot of this happens in private messages. And again, from sharing my story, your objective in sharing this opportunity is just that, to just share it. That's the only thing you have to do. That's why, if you're looking at the power of threes, it says invite 3 people and share coaching with 1 or 2. It does not say sell 3 challenge packs every single day and sign 2 coaches a week. It says invite and share. That inviting, you have to make sure you're answering their objections and stuff like that and really helping them. But when it comes to sharing this opportunity, that is your purpose. You cannot control whether they're going to say, yes or no, or what they're going to do. Your job is to share it. Make sure they have clear expectations of what's going to make them successful. Make sure you know what they want out of this, and never rely on, they're just going to be a discount coach, because the majority of us started as just a discount coach. I started as just a discount coach. Meg started just as a discount coach. And never give up if they say no. Scotty Hobbs shares that he stalked Lindsay Matway, I feel like a year. and wouldn't do it. And I've seen a lot of coaches say, like, I watched it for a year and just never jumped on because I didn't know what was going on.
Can I jump in real quick right there?
Yeah.
Just because of all of you ladies on the call right now, because every single one of you that are on this, I believe we talked for a solid, except for maybe Michelle, but Michelle was watching me for a while. We talked for a long time. We had conversations for like, most of you like 7 months to a year to 2 years. So keep that in mind, you know, because it's true. You know, we stalk people on Facebook or we watch, and, you know, it does make a difference. So continue. Sorry, Leanne. I just wanted to mention that because I was looking at everybody on the call.
And I do it with my team too. You know, they're like, oh, I think somebody would be so great with coaching and they just don't want to do it. Will you hop on a call? No. Like they don't know me, first of all. So me telling them, hey, you got to be a great coach is not going to help them. But you have to show them and give them time. Like I said, I sat there and told my coach no forever. I signed up under Meg, and a lot of people will be like, well, then I'm pissed off. You will have every single person on your team who is meant to be on your team. Bless and release, move on. So when you're talking to somebody about coaching, when you're private messaging them, this is the other thing that I think is so important. So you have to know, why are they going to make an amazing coach? Do not just be blind, like start messaging everybody like, hey, I need that warm body. Hey, girl, you would be an amazing coach. Would you like to hop on this call and learn more about it? No, like what? Why? Make sure you're specific about why they would be an amazing coach and why this will benefit, or how this will benefit them. I always like to make sure, whether it's an inviting to my challenge group or inviting to coaching, that they're either coming to me talking about it or they've already given me their need. They've said like, oh, I wish I could do what you do. Like, this commute to work is killing me. And so then I go like, well, have you ever considered it? And then you jump into it. Or they're like, oh, I would love to drink Shakeology. Like, I loved it. I just can't afford it. Well, have you ever considered becoming coach? Because we get a pretty cool discount and I can help you by just helping 3 people. You could pretty much earn it for free. Would you be interested in doing that? Make sure they're sharing their why. And that, you know, was from Janelle. Janelle said, you know, she's like, I'll be talking to somebody and I think they would be a great coach, but they're a mom of 5 working 4 different jobs. And they're like, I have like 1 hour to sleep a day. She's like, and then what am I going to do? Say, oh, and so you should totally become a Beachbody coach to work that for that hour a day, so that maybe in a few months you can get rid of maybe job 3 and 4. Like what? Like, it's not going to work for them. You just keep being the example, keep showing them, let them come to you, but make sure you're, you know, cultivating that relationship. Again, Power of 3 is message 5 people. That those messages should be about them and just building that relationship. Unless they bring up Beachbody, don't bring it up. Those 5 messages are for that. You're inviting and you're sharing coaching. Those are different categories. So focus on those. So I think that's it. I mean, I know Sam said talk maybe about boosting posts. And this was something that I just learned, and so I'll touch on it briefly. I have some videos out there, I think, I don't know, about how to do ads. I am kind of switching. I don't know, Sam, if you watched that Next Level Leadership training with Tara Carr. I thought she was really good. So I've typically, you know, done an ad where I'm spending about, I've been spending like about $150 a month on ads lately. So I'll spend like $75 on just getting new likes, and then spend $75 on boosting ads. And first of all, Facebook is very funny about what they're going to let you boost. I had a really good ad. Maybe I'll send it to Sam, that worked really well. And all I had was a picture of me, and it just said, if I can ... because you can't have all the wording on there. You have to, you know, keep it little. And then I put my stats. Like, I was a new mom, you know, working full time in my busy season with 30 to 40 pounds to lose, and I had very little time, but I gave up television at night. And after, you know, a year and a half, I was able to leave the full-time job and be at home with my daughter. And people were interested in that. I shared with them, like, okay, it's going to take work. I don't have to be super fit in order to be a coach. So, you know, I shared that. And so then I boosted that ad, and that got a lot of people starting to have conversations with me. And I laughed. One was like, yeah, I want to do this. And she's been following me because Facebook like page will give you information on them. She's been following me since 2014. And she just messages me now in 2016. Like, what? I've never had a conversation with her. So just make sure you're boosting those posts that are, you know, getting those conversations going, but make sure you're boosting posts that add value, like just a straight up recipe post to get new people in. You know, I was, but I think I had too much writing on it. Like, my daughter made all of her Valentines this year. And so that would be a great ad, like that would be a great post to boost, just because people are like, wait a second, like, what are you doing that you're able to stay at home and your daughter's making these Valentines and you're helping her? Like, what is that? I want that life. I want to be able to sit there and make Valentines with my kid. And so it gets them interested in what you're doing and interested about you. So boost those. But you know, you want to know who your niche is and where they are on Facebook and what age they are, so that you can boost specifically to them. So make sure you're writing those down, and you have who do you want to work with, and you're targeting them for your ads. So I'll shut up and you guys can go ahead and ask questions.
No, awesome. You did great. Does anybody have any questions for Leanne? Anything you wanted to comment on?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Actually, Leanne, so when you're boosting, are you doing the interest stuff?
Yes.
Okay. Can you talk just a little bit about that? Because I did watch you on Manny's call where you went through, and I tried a little bit of that. As far as like, because interests are like right? So like they like Whole Foods, and they like Gymboree, and they like Honest.
Or.
They're all or?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, so that means you're just widening the pool. So you could get a person from Whole Foods, and you can get a person from Gymboree. Okay, so how do you strategize with that, like when you think about your niche?
You know, where do I shop? What am I interested in? You know, my people are going to be homebodies. I'm a homebody. Like, they're going to like the Hallmark Channel. Like, I don't shop for myself. I shop for Faith. You know, like, they're going to be at Gymboree. They're going to be checking out their site. So think about, where are your people, you know, and what do they like, and then get in front of them. The other people don't matter. And then what you can do, and that's a whole nother call, but you can go into, and again, my computer's like fried, so I can't even tell you where to go. But it's like insights. So if you go into ad manager, I think it's the last option, and then like down, it's like I think it's like the insights tab. You can go in and like type in, so you would not search it'll give you a box, and it'll say like for your page or for all of Facebook. Choose all of Facebook. And then, and this unfortunately is just United States. They don't give all the breakouts like for Canada, but you can still find out information. So you would type in like Gymboree, and you can go to what other pages do the people who like Gymboree, what other pages do they like? What is their average income? You know, how much, like what are they doing? Like, yeah, what are they seeing? Are they married? How old are they? And so, like, this was a funny thing. So I love the show The Chew. Well, apparently I'm like the only 35-year-old watching The Chew. The rest of the people watching it are like 50. So I kept targeting The Chew, but I wasn't getting anybody who's in my target cut audience, because the majority of the people who like The Chew on Facebook are not my demographic. So great, I love it, but I'm not getting the right people from that page. So move on, do something else. It doesn't matter how much I love The Chew, not the right page.
And then how long do you give it, like, to see if it's working?
I'm not good at that part. I just kind of let it go for like.
Because I started spending like $2 a like, and I'm going, you know what I mean?
I don't pay attention. I let it average out, but I did notice on one of them that Facebook actually came back and said, hey, this ad doesn't seem to be doing that well. You should modify it. So I don't know if Facebook's starting to do that more. Okay. But so the whole point of me sharing that was, so Tara Carr said, focus on your engagement. Don't focus on adding likes. Focus on, the people that are talking and then the people are engaging. And so go look at the posts that are getting a lot of engagement and boost that post and really focus on that. And she gave a really good, thing that I really liked and I'm like a big fan of now. She goes, the only thing that she tracks in her business are matching bonuses. That's all she cares about, because then she knows her team's growing, and that they're earning more money. She doesn't pay attention to her cycle bonuses. She's focused on matching bonuses. But for when it comes to her Facebook, and I don't know, Sam, do you get this? Do you get an email from Facebook like every week that says, hey, here's how many people who like your page, here's the engagement on your page?
No, I haven't paid for Facebook ads in years.
I don't think it's for Facebook. I don't think it's for paid. It's just like updated.
Yeah, it's just page stats. I get them.
Okay.
I don't look at my notifications either, though. So
okay, it comes.
It emails you.
They email you. And I don't know why I started getting them, but they'll email you, and you can go into Insights and see it as well. But I started tracking that, and it will tell you what your engagement on your posts are. And Tara said that your engagement should be at least or around 25% of all of your page likes. So I have, we'll round up. I have 10,000 followers on my like page. So I should have engagement of 2,500. When I looked at it, my engagement on the best week ever was 900. So I know I need to be upping my posts so that people are engaged and are having conversations, so that you're kind of forming people through your Facebook page and your posts. So when they're commenting, you're kind of already having those conversations. And I had done this earlier. What I really started focusing on just talking with people who were commenting on my posts, and they knew so much about me, and I had never talked to them before because they had been following me and I was just never interacting with them. So make sure you're talking to those people that are hitting like and commenting, especially when you're talking on those recruiting posts. You never know how many people are just sitting there and just waiting for that opportunity to talk to you. Great. And I remember thinking Meg was the biggest deal ever. When she messaged me back, oh my God.
The same with Sam. I was like, what?
The same thing with Janelle Summers. When she texted me back, when she messaged me back, I ran around my house. I was like, Mom, Janelle Summers from Turbo Jam just messaged me back on Facebook. I freaked out. I will never forget it because I was about to go back to school and was going to work out with them, and I was freaking out.
So they are afraid to talk to you. You're living this dream life to them. And so all of a sudden you start messaging them and they're like, oh my God, I totally have been thinking about coaching. I was just terrified. I didn't know if you'd answer, I didn't know if you were a real person. So message them.
Yeah. That's a great
We digressed.
Great point.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Leanne. Thank you so much for hopping on and giving us some great content. I took tons and tons of notes, and thank you for adjusting, even though you're
sorry. Yeah, I'm a terrible view. I can't hold my phone anymore. I have a super cute PowerPoint. It's not super cute. I think it's cute, but
you did great. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Great content. I love it. And
thank you, Leanne. Focus on recruiting. If there's one thing you learned from me, I'm all about learning from failure. Absolutely. You have to push on recruiting. And it's going to take an adjustment, but just keep doing it.
Amen to that. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much for getting on. Have a great night, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.